Siyo Interview. Welcome to Cherokee Stories. I'm your host, Phil Bange. Today we have an interview with my son, Ronny. I call him Ronny, and today we'll call him Ronald E Bange. I named him after my dad, same first name, different middle name. Ronny and I come from family around Nycut, Oklahoma, Sequoia County. My great-grandmother, Seeley Polecat, grew up in Nycut. And my great-grandfather, Tuggy Bange, lived across the street from a nice little pond. And I think it's just a few miles from Sequoia's cabin. So when we go out to visit Sequoia's cabin, we always pass by my great-grandfather's his place. It's owned by somebody else now, but the chimney of his house is still there. Unfortunately, I didn't get out there soon enough to see his house. And I could have met him. He was with us until 1989, and I wish I had gone out there and met him. Unfortunately, my great-grandmother passed on before I was born. So I've taken Ronny out there, and we visited some of our Seabolt family, and Seeley's sister married into the Seabolts, which were neighbors to us, to our family back then. My grandfather grew up out there, and they're farmers. They work hard. I see them. I visited, and I see them out there working hard. And then my cousin Aunt Jen had her own little garden and was always cooking. Every time we came over, we had great food, and really always got a warm welcome, and I can't wait to go visit them again. So Ronny and I are proud of our heritage, our Cherokee heritage, and our family heritage. And on the Bange side, we have my fifth great-grandfather was John Bange of the Bange Trail of Tears. He was the wagon master. And, of course, his father was Captain Bange, or Bob Bange. And so we're pretty special to us to have that heritage in our family. Ronny has enjoyed stickball out at Cherokee Nation, the Analaskalisti. I hope I'm saying that right. I should check on it. I'd really like to get these words correct when I say them, so I apologize if I said that incorrectly. And we played at Marcone, I think it is, and Ronny loves it. He loves lacrosse, and he's going to talk to you about a little bit about how he likes lacrosse, and that's stickball too. It's just from our northern brothers. So let's move to the interview. Wando. I'm introducing Ronald Bange. Ronald's a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. And what does that mean to you, Ronny?
How
old are you?
15, about to be 16 in a couple months.
And you live in Bellevue?
Yeah.
And you play lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like lacrosse?
I love it. It's like one of those sports that it gets your adrenaline going.
What drew you to the sport of lacrosse? Why not football or baseball?
'Cause you introduced it to me when I was like really little, and we started playing pass, like with these really bad sticks that had no pockets in them, but that made us way better, which was really funny.
And we started out tossing from long distances too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked those up at Fred Meyer, I think, a long time ago. They broke.
The Bryan recruits Oh, no. Well, first there were, like, those plastic ones.
Yeah.
And then we played the stickball game
Oh, okay.
first.
Yeah, and the stickball with the pole. Yeah, Analaskalisti was what we used to play up at the cabin.
But with lacrosse sticks.
Yeah, that means to pass, and it was stickball. And lacrosse is a form of stickball from our brothers up north, the Iroquois. And it's played with one big stick instead of two like we play. So, how are you doing in lacrosse? What position do you play?
I play midi, and sometimes...
What's a midi? What's a midi?
They're the people who transition the ball from defense to offense, or whenever the ball's in defense, they play defense.
So you're playing both sides of the ball, both defense and offense. So you're protecting the goal, but you're also scoring.
Mm-hmm.
And another word for it is midfielder, right?
Mm-hmm. But it's midi for short.
Have you played any other positions?
I played attack, and that's my. They put me in attack, and that's when I got my first varsity goal. That was funny.
Yeah, I was glad to be there. So, what do you plan to do with lacrosse in the future?
Become a better player overall, and see what I can accomplish by my senior year.
Do you want to play in college?
Maybe not. I'm not sure. I still haven't made up my mind yet, but...
And what high school are you going to right now?
Sammamish High School.
Okay. How long have they had a lacrosse team?
I think it's only been like 3 years. Only 3 years.
Because East Side's been... we're notorious for having good lacrosse teams back in the 80s when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the tough teams. You ever think of coaching one day?
No, I've never really thought about that. I hear my coaches now, and they're like yelling at us, and it's like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, probably won't coach.
And you used to play soccer too.
Yeah.
What position did you play there?
I played fullback in defense, so it was the middle person in defense. It's like the last line of defense.
Seemed like you kind of played striker too sometimes.
Yeah, that was like in 6th grade.
Yeah, you scored about, 1/3 or 2/3 of all the goals?
Yeah. That was fun.
So what do you like in school? What are you studying?
Well, right now I'm taking one AP class because the school makes us do one AP class, and it's about human geography, which it's not one of my favorite classes, but you can live through it. But and then I have to take all my other core classes, which is math, English, and science.
Well, that first one, what was it again? It was like human geography?
Yeah.
What attracts you to that then? What?
No, it's just a class that you have to take when you're a freshman.
It's half you take. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of, how are you going to make a living in another 10 years? What do you want to do?
I was kind of thinking about doing graphic designing, but that doesn't really make a lot of money. So next year I'm going to take a class of accounting, and I forgot what the other class was, but it was with financial stuff or something like that.
Well, you come from a family of doctors on your mom's side, and then on my side of the family, your grandpa was a business owner, pretty successful, and then his dad was a naval. He was like an engineer or in the engine room in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
I should know more about what he was doing, but he was on the battleship Nevada. Yeah, for over 20 years. World War II, Korean conflict, and what was the other one? Well, anyhow, he survived Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's military, and then business, and then me, an electrician. My dad was an electrician. He was an electrical contractor. So you've School of Medicine's good too. It's always something to think about. It's kind of in your family. I'm doing this interview for Cherokee Stories, and you know that. So what's it mean? When did you first find out that you were Cherokee? Edit that out. What does it mean? When did you first find out that you were Cherokee, or what that meant?
I think it was when you started bringing up about like the tribal member card stuff. But I always knew that we were Indian because you always took us to the powwows in Seattle and stuff and all over the place.
Hey, you went to Mexico too.
Mm-hmm.
So did you feel that bond in Mexico, indigenous, that you were indigenous?
Not really, because I didn't really know what they were talking about, or so, because I didn't know the language or anything.
Oh, you didn't know it as well?
Yeah.
You do now, though. You're pretty much bilingual, right?
Well, I mean, not like their like actual language, not Spanish.
Oh, Totonaco. I got
you.
Yeah, just where his mom's from, they speak Totonaco, and it's difficult to understand.
And they also they don't live in the city. They live out like kind of in the jungle area.
Yeah, just down a dirt path. They come in on. They walk in with all their goods to sell at market, with a donkey or two. All their goods will be on the back of the donkey, and they go to public market all day, and then they head home. Mm-hmm. And they always stare at me like they've never seen an outsider look like me. Like I'm exotic. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about the pyramids down there?
They're pretty impressive. Not like compared to the ones in Egypt. Egypt's are way bigger, but the ones in Mexico, they're pretty cool. They have like grass on them, so some of them are like kind of underground or something, something like that. I forgot what they were talking about, but they played soccer or something with a rock, which must have hurt their feet, but yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a ball court there too.
Yeah.
Well, what we're talking about is Tajín, which is where the pyramids are near Papantla, which is where your mother's from. So, what is that? There's a pyramid at the center. What is that? It's a calendar, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But I know that they have this one festival, and then they color the pyramids, and then the pyramids are like they're like vibrant colors at night. You can look up pictures. I think they're online, but.
And who's Tajín? Why do they call it Tajín?
Nah, I'm not really sure. But
isn't that the thunder god or the rain god?
Probably, I don't know.
So you've been there. You've been there several times. You were just there this fall for Dia de la Muerte, right?
Yeah, Los Muertos.
Dia dos Muertos, yeah. I have trouble ringing it off my tongue like that. So, we're not a powwow people with Cherokees, but we'd like to go to powwows.
Yeah. We stomp dance, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of natives do out here in Seattle is they go to powwows or they might stop off at the canoe journey and check things out. Mm-hmm. So you've been to canoe journey as well, right?
Yeah, that's pretty long. I remember one time we were vending something, and then we
were selling jerky. Smoked jerky.
It was really windy there.
That was at Quinault.
Yeah.
2012 or 13, something like that.
And then all they had there was seafood, which I don't like seafood.
Oh. Well, what else does it mean to you to be Cherokee?
That you're related to a lot of other people that you don't really know.
Unless you grew up there, of course.
Yeah.
Is that kind of neat?
Yeah.
You see that in Mexico, too, though, when you go down to